When we think of our constitutional rights in the United States and in Texas, in terms of being arrested, a few different ones probably quickly come to mind. The right to remain silent, the right to an attorney. Maybe there are a few that aren't so obvious. The right to a fair and speedy trial. The right to a trial by jury. There is another aspect of our rights when it comes to the matter of Austin bail bonds that we should all be aware of, especially now that the courts are waking up to the fact that excessive bail bonds are depriving people of their freedom before they have even stepped inside of a courtroom. The United States Constitution guarantees certain rights to its citizens who are accused of crimes. The Eighth Amendment of the U.S. Constitution states that excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. But, unfortunately, some judges are setting bail bond amounts that are so high, no reasonable person could afford to post a cash bond or even pay the percentage of a surety bond to get released. If a bail bond amount is set at $50,000 and a bail bond company charges 10% of that bond amount to an arrestee, that's $5,000. That's a lot of money for an average Joe. But when you take a person who is indigent, who has the chance of getting arrested in the first place, paying that amount is impossible. Those who are arrested in Texas have to pay a bail bondsman to get released. Also, they have the same rights when it comes to excessive bail or fines under the Texas Constitution. It reiterates our U.S. Constitution by stating, excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishment inflicted. So why are people being punished by being kept in jail before it has been decided whether they are guilty or innocent? And with the recent bail bond reforms happening across Texas, how come those rights have long been ignored? On the other side of this coin, there are some instances where an arrestee can flat out be denied a bail bond. According to Section 11A of the Texas Constitution, being convicted of or indicted for multiple felonies could result in the denial of bail. Section 11B deals with the possible denial of bond if a condition of release is violated, specifically stating an offense involving family violence who is released on bail pending trial and whose bail is subsequently revoked or forfeited for a violation of a condition of release may be denied bail pending trial if a judge or magistrate in this state determines by preponderance of the evidence at a subsequent hearing that the person violated a condition of release related to the safety of the alleged victim or for the safety of the community. Section 11C can deny a bail bond of those accused of violating an EPO in family violence cases. Being accused of a violent crime is serious. This is exactly why the time that a bail bondsman is important and necessary. Like the people who are accused of allegedly committing a violent crime, the victims of these cases have certain rights as well under the Texas Constitution. According to Section 30, victims of crimes are reasonably protected from the accused throughout the entire criminal justice process. Other rights included are the right to notification of court proceedings, the right to be present at all public court proceedings related to the offense, unless the victim is to testify, and then the court determines that the victim's testimony would be materially affected if the victim hears other testimony at the trial, and the right to confer with a representative of the prosecutor's office, the right to restitution, and the right to information about the conviction, sentence, imprisonment, and release of the accused. There are certain criteria that needs to be examined when someone is arrested to determine whether a reasonable sufficient bail bond amount is in order. What is the offense that is being charged? Is it a felony or a misdemeanor? Is this violent or nonviolent? Are they a danger to themselves or the public? What can this person reasonably pay to get released to come back to court? And what is the likelihood they will come back to court in the first place? These are all factors that should be determined before a bail bond amount is set. The days of already set bond amounts for particular offenses are over, and the court needs to examine how they set a bail bond for each individual arrestee case by case. If someone is accused of committing a nonviolent misdemeanor or felony, how is it fair that they're being forced to stay in jail just because they can't pay the bail bond? These people are being punished before they are even being convicted of a crime. All too often, they plead to something they didn't do just to get out of jail, to get back to some semblance of normal. By that time, so much has been affected by this unconstitutional incarceration They can lose their jobs, homes, or children. Something like this can unravel their lives in such a way that they can never get back on track again. According to the Texas Constitution, Section 19, no citizen of this state shall be deprived of life, liberty, property, privileges, or immunities, or in any manner disenfranchised, except by the due course of the law. Due course means someone is innocent unless proven guilty. It means no excessive bail. It means your life doesn't have to upend solely because you've been accused of doing something wrong and you can't afford bail to get out. It's important to note that your constitutional rights, and when you get arrested, if you or your lawyer don't stand up for when it comes to these rights, who will?